Okay, hi, I got your plan open in my copy of Pro 2016. First thing I notice is there's a lot of unnecessary layers on. I'm going to turn off, to clean up the plan view. Go to terrain and turn off the elevation data and contours. Leave the perimeter on. Yeah, it's better. See, what's that? I'm just kind of getting oriented to your plan. See, the road specification. Okay, fine. Okay. The thing that vexes me here is I don't know what kind of roof you're going to have. I don't know if you have if you intend a second floor. I see a staircase poking through there, but anyway. So I'll just concentrate on this. I noticed that you've got a concrete slab out here for this part of the house. I don't know why you did that. Or if you're an engineer and you want to do it that way, that's fine. But commonly you wouldn't put that much weight out there without very much support. So the first thing I would do in terms of guessing is I go in here, I'm going to turn the reference display on and then go down to the basement and then back up so I can kind of see the basement. I need to figure out where the transition from slab to something else starts. And I think it's right here. You can go back to the overview. Yeah, what's this? I'll click on it and open the dialog box. Foundation wall. Okay. So I would think from here out you would have wood framing, and from here back you would have a slab. I'm going to click on that wall. Well, okay, the handles don't. Okay. I was going to extend it down, but the first thing I would do is a couple of things. I'm going to turn the reference display off because it's not very helpful. And I'm going to go over here under the terrain menu, and I want to draw a feature, rectangular feature. I think from about here, I think that's enough. I'm going to open the feature and program it to be yeah, that wasn't what I was planning. I was planning to, like, okay. I guess in Home Designer Pro you can't selectively do what I was planning to do. So I'm going to go to the terrain plane. Yeah, that's what I should do. Terrain plane, terrain specification, and there's a setting here, hide terrain intersected by building. I'm going to uncheck that. I'll show you, see what that does. Now it may cause a problem over here because the terrain was, okay, it looks, it's a little close there. I think right here I would put a terrain feature in. Let's see, we'll just click in there. Yeah, and then see, where's the edit toolbar? I don't see it. Okay, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll go over here and draw a feature underneath this area. It's right there. We'll take that feature and program it to be a hole so that the terrain doesn't interfere with this area of the house. And now, before, you could kind of see the terrain bleeding through over there. Okay. The next thing I would do is get rid of this concrete because it's not appropriate. Unless you're an engineer and you specify it. I wouldn't do that on purpose because it's an engineering problem because you got a lot of concrete here hanging in space. So I would go over here to this dialog box and go to the structure tab and uncheck floor supplied by foundation because there's no foundation here. And so we just put floor under this room, and then we go to floor structure, and you can see it's set to concrete, and it's 4 feet, 4 inches thick. That's not very good engineering and building technique. So this is cantilevered and transferring the load to post, so I would think it's something that's not so freaking heavy. So I'm going to change this thickness here to 16 inches. I'm sure the engineer would probably specify something pretty thick out here, and it wouldn't be concrete. We'll go over here and just, let's see, let me go to library materials. And it's going to be some kind of wood. Could be steel, but I doubt it. We just use fur framing for an appearance. And I'm going to add a layer. Oh, you're kidding. In Pro you can't add a layer? That sucks. Well, I wasn't expecting that. In Premiere, you can just add a layer, and like you'd have this wood underpinning, and then on top of that, you'd have decking. But I don't see anywhere to add a layer. Okay, here's a floor finish. I don't see any way to edit that. We got floor in this room, and it's 16-inch like glue lams or I-joists or LVO, something like that. And this is, but that's the floor finish, not the decking on top. Let me see if I can find that somewhere else. I'm going to go to floor. And structure. Okay, that's kind of grayed out, so I can't change that. Well, heck, I don't see anywhere to change that. Now in this dialog box here, maybe I've got a control. Okay, floor structure. That's about it. Let's take a look at that. Okay, the floor structure thickened because I told it to, but the material's not. Let's check and see what that material is. Beige stucco. Wonder where that's coming from. We tried. I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting this to be so much trouble. I said it's lumber, but that's not what it's doing. Let me check some settings, some other settings. Yeah, you've got some stuff here. What is it? $16. It's like when I think that's what I set it to. I wonder why I can't see it. There's that post, and not quite sure why that's there. We should be able to extend. Well, maybe you can't use the wall. I'm going to draw a CAD line over here. And then we'll extend Where's the extend tool? That's weird. All right. I was going to use the extend tool, but it apparently is not available, so we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, let's go back to the overview, and we'll turn on framing. That's probably just the reason I can't see it. I don't know what this mass is here. We'll go to display options. Where's display options? There it is. Framing. And what, floor joists? I guess we could turn, there are some there. Maybe you drew those with ceiling joists. That's why they're not showing. I don't know. I'm going to use this tool here to temporarily remove surfaces. Okay, the framing's not showing. I turned it on. This just temporarily removes a surface. I don't see any framing at all. What's that? No. Crap. I didn't mean to do that. Well, I thought I turned all the framing on, but maybe I missed something. I'll look more carefully this time. Floor joist, that's the one I missed, and that's what's not showing. And see, that was a temporarily removal, so I need to remove this stuff again so if I can see it. See if I can see the. Now the framing. Let's see. There it is. Finally. 16. Okay, I'm going to check the dialog box below. Bingo! You don't need you don't need this. You don't need this. Okay. I'm going to delete these walls. There was creating that opaque floor thing. Try this again. Okay, that's beginning to look better. See, now I can see the framing. There's still some kind of a layer there. Let me see what that is. I think what your problem is, you just made too many guesses instead of studying the user's guide and studying the reference manual and finding out how to use the software. You were just stumbling around like a blindfolded man guessing and hoping for the best, and that never works. That's color white. And where is color white coming from down here? See, I got rid of the room because you don't need a room. Those are slabs over here. I think relatively that's correct what you did on the left of the plan. So where is that white crap coming from? I think what I'm going to do, because I don't want that there, I'm going to paint it with a spray can. I'll go to library materials, miscellaneous, opening no material, and I'm going to paint that opening no material. Now I'm clicking on it, but nothing's happening. That's weird. Try that again. And let's see, we want this set to component mode. Okay, yeah. Wow, that's not responding. See, by painting this material I don't want there, then I'd basically remove it. But it's not working. Now, where could it be coming from? I wonder. Let's go up to the up here and see if it's coming from this room above here. We'll go to the Structure tab and for Structure. I just set it to Wood. There's a white material in here. What's that? Color white. No, that's the moldings. That's fine. White. Let's change this cantilever underside. I'm just guessing. I just said don't guess, but sometimes it's okay if you know that you're guessing. And we'll go over here and set a color. We'll go to miscellaneous and set it to opening no material and just see what that does as an effect. Ah, bingo! It was coming from the room dialog above. Now it's beginning to look correct, so this beam is too high if it's going to support these beams. I think this view here would be better if we use vector view. Easier to see the lines and so forth. Now you can still see that white stuff there. It's just something you did earlier caused a problem. You're going to need to move the terrain over here underneath your slab. Okay, let's turn your elevation data back on. There it is. Go to the T's elevation data. Okay, what is that? Interior, okay, a flat region, that's fine. And what's this say? Minus 200. Is this another flat region? No, it's just a polyline, not even a terrain object. Look at that again. We want this edge to come out to here, so there's nothing doing that. That's a flat region. I don't see any problem with that. So what could we do? All right. Let me go over here to terrain, feature, oops, not what I want. Elevation data, yeah, terrain region. In this area, now you don't want these things overlapping, so I'm going to move this over a little bit so that it's not overlapping the adjacent terrain region. And if this is minus 200, I'm just going to have to guess, since I don't have your topography. We'll set this at minus 100 as a starting point. Okay, that made it worse. So how about 0? We'll try 0. That's a little bit too much, but you get the idea. You don't want your slab foundation hanging out in space. So I need to set this to like minus 24. I'm going to set it a little bit lower. That's a little bit too much. Okay. This is how you do the terrain. You make a change and then evaluate it. One change at a time. Okay, I think that's better than it was. Now these are now too low. They're adjustable. They should have automatically readjusted when I changed the terrain, but they didn't. Okay. I don't even see those here. Maybe they're turned off. The framing, footings, posts, or something like that. Yeah, they're turned off. That's the reason I can't see them. I can see those. Yeah, those are all, well, you can adjust those. You know how to adjust those. They should have automatically readjusted, but they didn't. So, but this is more like what I think it should look like with the slab on grade being a slab on grade and not having any of its edges revealed. And maybe that transition needs to come over to here. Looks like it does. I'm going to bend this one around a little bit. What is this one set to? 0. Okay. It looks a little bit better. I mean, you're not going to fall off a cliff when you drive your car out of the carport. It's still not optimum, but okay. We probably need to reshape this a little bit. Boy, it's pretty good except for that transition point. You can see where this flat region then dumps down to this one here. Move this over a little bit. Okay, it's filling in a little bit. Yeah, I think that's about the best you're going to get. You might extend this foundation down a little bit. Let's see, we can go over here to the foundation tab and change the footing height. Uh, 18. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah, so it fills that area in better. I mean, unless you're a structural engineer, you can't design foundations anyway. So you're just looking for a cosmetic, decent-looking effect. Anyway, that's my take on this. Now you can see the floor joists. And if you want them all the same, okay, let me go over to a standard camera where that white junk will disappear. No, I need that one, don't I? You know, made it disappear. You can use the eyedropper to get this material here and then set it to plan and then just click on that stuff and it'll change it all. Yeah, it'll probably look a little bit better. If it's going to be exposed to the elements, it's going to be finished like these pieces over here. Okay, well, that's about all I can think of to do without more specific data. Thanks for watching.